Hello everyone, this is Group 1 for minimum wage, and this was made by Katerine, Matthew, Victor, and Elvis. So, the definition of minimum wage. The minimum wage is the lowest amount of money that a worker can legally be paid per hour. It is basically set by the federal government and by states, and it acts as a limit to make sure wages do not fall below a certain level. As of 2025, the federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour. Some states have their own higher minimum wages, and in January 2025, 21 states increased their minimum wages. Even though the cost of living has gone up, the federal minimum wage has stayed the same since 2009. Now, minimum wage, the ongoing debate. The debate about raising the federal minimum wage has two sides. Some people believe that raising the wage will help lift millions of people out of poverty, increase purchasing power, and reduce economic inequality, especially the wage gap between different races. On the other side, some people think raising the wage could lead to job losses, especially for small businesses, and cause prices for goods and services to go up. The issue is very complicated because different economic models give different predictions. So it's hard to know for sure what would happen if the wage were raised. Now, let's talk about tip jobs. A tip employee is someone who receives more than $30 per month in tips. Employers are required to pay at least $2.13 per hour in direct wages. But if the tips plus these wages do not add up to the federal minimum wage, the employer must make up the difference. And of course, some states have higher wage requirements for tip employees. Now, let's begin with the context for this debate. Right now, each state has its own minimum wage, which can either match or be higher than the federal minimum wage. The topic we're discussing today is whether the federal minimum wage should be raised to $15 per hour for all jobs, including those that are considered tip jobs.
Hi, my name's Modi, and I will be talking about the economic impact. It will first boost consumer spending because raising the minimum wage will give lower income individuals more money to spend on their daily essentials. It will also promote workforce stability because a higher minimum wage will incentivize employees to stay at their job for over 5 years. And if they stay at their job for over 5 years, it will help the company reduce their hiring and training cost because hiring a new employee every year for a single job is very expensive. And having one person doing that for over 5 years is very efficient. It will also stimulate smaller and local economies. Increasing minimum wages will lead to more spending in smaller communities and it will help them grow.
Now I will talk about the ethical side of raising wage. According to the AC Code of Ethics, Section 3.3, companies should manage people and resources in ways that improve the quality of working life. The CEI Code Rule 5.07 says that employers should pay employees fairly. We can also look at different ethical theories like Kantianism teaches that workers should not be used for profit. They should be treated as people with value. Utilitarianism says we should do what helps the most people. Raising the wage could reduce poverty and help many workers live better lives. And the social contract views says that society expects that full-time workers should earn enough to afford the basic needs. And virtue ethics teaches that a good employer cares about the well-being of their workers. So also when people are paid fairly, they feel more motivated and can work better and more consistently.
Critics of raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour for all workers, including tipped workers, have given counter arguments against this. Number one, tipped workers already make more than minimum wage with tips. They argue that workers in tipped industries like restaurant servers often end up making more than $15 an hour when tips are included, so raising the wages is unnecessary. Number two, raising wages for tipped jobs will hurt small businesses and restaurants. Critics claim that increasing base wages for tipped workers would increase labor costs for employers, leading to higher prices, reduced hours, or even layoffs. Number three, it will eliminate tipping culture. Some fear that if tipped workers received a higher wage, customers may stop tipping altogether, potentially lowering total earnings. There are rebuttals, of course, to these counter arguments. Number one, not all tipped workers may make a living wage. While some tipped workers earn more during busy times, others, especially in slow seasons or low traffic areas, struggle to reach even the current minimum wage. A guaranteed fee, $15 per hour, ensures no worker is left behind. Businesses adapt in states with higher wages. In states like California, for example, where tipped workers earn the full minimum wage, restaurants and small businesses continue to operate successfully. Higher wages also lead to lower turnover and better employee morale. Number three, tipping doesn't have to disappear. A 15 minimum wage doesn't ban tipping, it just ensures workers are independent on it to survive. Customers can still reward excellent services, but workers no longer have to worry about making ends meet when tips fall short.
In this slide, I'll be going over the social impacts of the minimum wage. So, as we have discussed, the minimum wage is used across 90% of all nations in the world. And some of these social impacts include the fact that low-income workers are protected from industries that abuse unskilled labor, like fast food or any other entry-level jobs. It makes sure businesses act ethically and don't underpay the workers. And it reduces poverty by making sure workers are paid some amount of money. Even if it's not a lot, they do have at least some money. And finally, it reduces economic stress because this money helps them keep themselves afloat, even if it's a little. And it reduces the mental stress of the work itself. So in conclusion, the minimum wage has been shown to help reduce economic stress and make sure workers don't get severely underpaid by their jobs. An increase in minimum wage would decrease poverty, increase productivity, and lower the reliance workers have on the tip system.
Thank you.